So it's very important in public speaking that you have a clear thesis. And our textbook recommends that these four things about a well-phrased thesis. And thesisi are very actually they're difficult to write. I think because you have to have that level of clarity and so they're not easy, right? Because you have to, well, what am I really truly talking about? What are my main points? And that's one of the things is that this textbook asks you to put your main points in your thesis. So it might actually help to come up with your main points first and then come back to your thesis, right? And sort of phrase it, or you might have to tweak it as you go. But a well-phrased thesis should be presented in one single sentence. Yes. So whereas the general purpose and the specific purpose, excuse me, were these phrases, this is one complete sentence. Captures the central idea of your speech. Yeah, what are you talking about? What is your, main idea of the speech? And you can also think of a thesis as a main idea or central idea. It should summarize your main points, yeah, or just kind of include them, and that can help. And give you an example of that. And then it helps keep listeners involved. Yeah, because you're so clear and your audience kind of understands, what exactly you're talking about. So say, for example, the topic is, let's say, Lake Mead, right? And I'm going to be talking about, in terms of my main points, I might be talking about the history of Lake Mead or the Hoover Dam, and then I might be talking about wildlife that you might encounter at Lake Mead, and then I would talk about activities that you could do at Lake Mead, right? So my single sentence captures the central idea, right, and summarizes my main points that I'm trying to do with Lake Mead might sound something like this. Lake Mead was built in the 1930s, has many interesting plants and animals, and is and provides many interesting and provides numerous activities for locals to engage in, something like that, right? It's not very good, but something like that, right? Lake Mead has a fascinating history, has numerous plants and animals, and there are numerous activities that one can engage in on the water and the surrounding areas, right? Something like that. And that is, it's a one sentence statement, incorporates your main points, and it gets at what you're talking about, right? I'm really going to talk about the history of Lake Mead. I'm going to talk about some plants and animals and some things that you can do out there, right? Okay. And I know that's difficult, and we'll work on phrasing your thesis. You're going to submit a thesis for your speeches, and I'll try to give you some feedback on those, and so you can kind of formulate where you're going with your thesis. Okay. Then you want to start working on your outline. Yes. So once you come up with a thesis, you're going to start working on your outline. And what you want to sort of do is, this is going to guide you through your initial stages of your topic development. Yeah, so this is kind of like a working outline. So it's in progress. That's right. But it does help you keep you focused on your general purpose, right? And clarifies your specific purpose. So this is really kind of what you're turning in before you go on to work on, to work further on your outline, kind of seeing where you're at with things. It also helps to come up with subtopics, right? Which again also connects to your main points in your thesis. So you're going to start working on an outline, right? And kind of grouping your ideas. What's my main point one? What's my main point two, right? If I'm talking about Red Rock Canyon, right, maybe I'm talking about hiking trails, and then I'm talking about plants and animals, right? Maybe I just have 2 points, right? Hiking trails and plants and animals. And that's also fine, right? But you're working on it, right? You're thinking about, okay, how can I start to organize these main points?